This is episode 19 of Ask Mogz Anything, the series where I answer questions from you guys about Sideswipe and about myself. This episode will feature Grand Champion ranked 2v2s gameplay from some of the best players in the world, and it includes answers to questions about topics like how to get better game sense and card control, how to stop purple shotting while doing stalls, and what do I think of SteveyB. All of the gameplay shown in this video and all of the questions answered in this video came from my Discord server. If you want to submit your own questions for future episodes, come join the Mogz Discord server and put your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. The details are on screen and in the video description. Alright, let's get into the first match and the first question. But first, a huge shout out to ExpressVPN. If you've ever wanted to play Sideswipe in a different region, say over with me in Japan, ExpressVPN is how you do it. I can tell you from experience it 100% works, and honestly, the ping's actually decent too. And right now, every single Mogz viewer is gonna get a huge discount of 3 months off all 12-month subscriptions, meaning it just got a whole lot cheaper for you to jump into a different region and destroy your opponents over there. How good is that? So go check out ExpressVPN via the link on screen and in the video description. Alright, so the first question comes from Zaka, and they ask, hey Mogz, is it possible to play without stalls on higher ranks other than higher ranks than Diamond? Because I play on Touch and can't learn order. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to learn stalls until, yeah, Diamond. I mean, I'd recommend learning them at around Diamond, maybe Plat. It's good to be able to do at least one stall. But I find that it often messes up players at those ranks more than it helps them. At least that's what happened to me. To answer the question, like, is it possible to get higher than Diamond without stalls? Yeah, 100%. There's a channel, one of the last remaining Sideswipe channels, Bro, I think is how you say it. And he's doing a Road to GC series at the moment where he uses no mechanics. So I recommend going and watching that. I think he's at like champ rank at the moment. So I'll link that on screen and in the video description. But yeah, I mean, that's proof that you don't need stalls. I think the only real mechanics that he uses are occasionally he'll do a white shot, but I think they're mostly accidental. And maybe he uses gold shots. He probably doesn't even use gold shots. I think it's just like red shots and yeah, manual flips and stuff. So that's 100% proof right there that you don't need stalls. Yeah, I just think they're useful. It's kind of a free hit on the ball, as I've often said before. So it's just a really, really useful mechanic. You can't really go wrong with them unless you mess them up. But if your recovery, you know, when you mess them up is really good, then it's not a big deal. So yeah, to answer the question, yes, 100% possible. Definitely. You don't have to learn them. All right, next one comes from Expert Shadow, and they ask, do you think esports should be integrated into Sideswipe for monetization, or at least revitalize a pretty much dead game? Yeah, I mean, I think having some kind of like official tournaments would be wonderful. I don't know why they don't do it. I guess they've just completely given up on the game. I know that back in the early days there were some official tournaments, but they weren't really like marketed, they weren't publicized, so I didn't even know about them until later. I spoke to some high ranked players and they said that they had participated in those tournaments and, you know, maybe won some prize money and stuff. So I was like, wow, I had no idea. So I don't know why they didn't post them like on any of the official, you know, the blog or on Twitter. I didn't see it on Twitter anyway. But yeah, I think it would be great. I think Sideswipe works as an esport. If you just watch my live commentary videos, like the 1v2 every rank and, you know, the touch versus controller, Sideswipe plays versus rank, I think deserve all those. Like I find them entertaining to commentate over, and you guys seem to find them entertaining to watch, you know, with my commentary and just the gameplay. So I feel like the game works really well. It would work really well as an esport, but yeah, it's just a shame. So yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I think it should be, but will it? Probably not, because if it was gonna, then it would have happened already. You know, the game's been out for how many years now? It's like, what, 3 years? So it's not gonna happen. Would be nice though. Would be great. Yeah. Has it been 3 years? Maybe it's only been 2. I can't remember. Yeah, 2021 December. So it's been like bit over 2 years. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the question. Next one comes from iShowSpeed, and they ask, there are no leaks for Season 13, and Sideswipe will most likely be gone. Yeah. So if that happens, what's going to happen to the server? So this guy's talking about the Discord server. Nothing's going to happen to the server, I don't think. I mean, as long as you guys are, still around and using it, then, I'll keep it up. I'm not going to delete the server or anything. The only thing that might happen is if I switch to a different game on my main channel, on the Mogz channel, then I might... The kind of theme of that Discord server might change to be that other game, or I might just integrate it into it. So we might just get some more players that are also playing that game. So it won't just be a Sideswipe server. Just like it did when Sideswipe came, when I switched to Sideswipe. Originally that Discord server was a Rocket League server. And all of the events and everything that we had on there were Rocket League related. So all of those OG members were really kind of, some of them were like annoyed and stuff by all of the influx of Sideswipe players. They're like, oh bloody, all these Sideswipe players coming into the server, Jesus, like, they're all kids, whatever. Like, yeah, so that happened, and then now I think there's, most of those old Rocket League players are no longer active on the server, so you don't see them anymore. They were just completely swamped by all the Sideswipe players. So, that might happen again if I move on to another game. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes there. But I'm creating another I have another Discord server now that I'll probably start advertising on the Mogz server soon, which is for my second channel, the game I'm covering on there, which is Helldivers 2. So I've got another Discord, because I didn't really want you guys to get mixed with all the Helldivers players, so I thought I better separate you. So anyway. All right, next question comes from Snails Doesn't Know How to Talk. And that's, when you first started out, were you embarrassed to tell people what you did? So I think this guy's talking about being a Sideswipe YouTuber specifically. So just to answer the question, if you're talking about just being a YouTuber, then I mean, I was always kind of proud to tell people that I was a YouTuber. I thought it's like the coolest job in the world. I mean, I think so. And it's so, I always look at YouTubers as like, it depends what kind of YouTuber they are, but I always think of the job of a YouTuber as like really creative and really independent. So you're kind of doing everything yourself, and you're kind of an entrepreneur because you're really taking on all the risk yourself, and you've got this big dream and this big vision, and you're just like chasing it, So I respect that, and I feel really lucky that I get to do that as like basically my full-time job. So I'm quite proud of it, but I live in Japan, and it's not really respected, I think, in general Japanese society. So, but yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that cares what other people think. I just do my own thing, and if other people don't like it, I don't really care. It's just what makes me happy. So no, I was never embarrassed, but I did find it kind of weird explaining to people that I was a Sideswipe YouTuber or like a Rocket League YouTuber, because saying that I make videos about car soccer is sort of like, what are you doing? It's just sort of, I feel like there are more respectable subjects out there to make videos about. Like if I was going to make videos about, science or, I don't know, politics or whatever, it's sort of more respectable. It's more like intellectual. But like, I'm a gaming car soccer YouTuber. It's just kind of doesn't sound great. But again, I don't care, and it doesn't bother me what people think. So. But yeah, interesting question. All right, next one comes from VasilusRL, and they ask, guys, if I go to Champ 2 and then rank down to Diamond 5, and then go Champ 1 Div 1, will like, that's a very specific. The going back up to Champ 1 Div 1 doesn't matter. So yeah, it's your peak rank during the season is what matters. So if you go Champ 2, then your peak rank is champ 2. Okay, so then you diamond 5 champ 1. Yeah, so your rewards are going to be champ rewards. Basically all you need is to reach a particular rank during the season. So if you go from diamond up to champ, you'll get champ rewards no matter what. The only difference is the only like kind of caveat is if you start the season at say diamond 1 and then you lose your first game or two and then you drop down to platinum. As far as I know, as far as I've been told by the developer as well, I contacted them about it, you won't get diamond rewards, you'll get plat rewards. So you have to actually win. If you start the season at that peak rank, you know, then you have to win one game. If you don't win a game, then you'll get plat rewards. So that's what I was told. And from my testing, I think that's true. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. The answer to your question specifically is you'll get champ rewards. So anyway. All right, next one comes from Loki, and they tell us the sweatiest player you've ever played against and how the match went. I mean, I can't really remember the sweatiest player. Not really, but I do remember a match I made a video about, which I don't remember what it was called. I'll put it on screen anyway. But it was a game that I won, and I think I had played this guy maybe a couple of times, and it was so sweaty. Oh my god! And he was trolling me hard because he took the lead, and then I came back and I won it, and then I made a video where I commentated over that replay. Because I think I'd been recording, all those matches during that day, and it was like a really great like kind of rematch with this guy, and I won it in the end. It was so exciting. So I'll put it on screen and in the video description. So I recommend you go watch it. It's just super entertaining. It was way back in the early days, so don't expect any crazy mechanics or anything. I think the sweaty matches are the really fun ones. It just gets your heart racing, and it's especially when they're trolling you, you really, really want to beat them. So I'm kind of, in a way, I'm like in favor of toxicity because it kind of motivates you and it tests you. If people are being toxic and you're struggling against it, you're kind of getting flustered and playing poorly. That shows that there's some kind of weakness in you. Not to get like too psychological, but I feel like it's kind of pointing, it's like shining a light on some weakness in your personality that you need to get over, so it's kind of testing you. And so I feel like it's a good test. And if you can use it as a strength instead, if you can use it as a motivation, then, or you can just stay cool and stay calm and ignore it, then that's a win for you, I feel like. And you've kind of you've like succeeded there. So I'm kind of in favor of it actually, and I feel like if you just disable chat, you're kind of hiding from your own weaknesses. So anyway, that's probably a little bit too deep for a Sideswipe AMA video, but that's kind of how I see it actually. But anyway, good question. I hope you enjoy watching that video if you go watch it. All right, next one comes from Assassin. Assassin. I don't know how to say that. Assassin. I don't know. And they ask why, when I want to do a store change, sometimes I do a purple shot after one store. How to fix it? So this is a really very, very common question, and really the answer is quite obvious. The only problem, the mistake that you're making is that you're pressing jump when you should be pressing air roll. So the sequence of button presses should, when you're doing stalls, if you're in the air and you've got your roof to the ball, the sequence of button presses should be jump, air roll, reset, and then air roll again. And then you restart. Jump, air roll, reset, air roll again, right? The problem with your sequence is you're doing jump and then air roll, getting your reset, and then instead of pressing air roll again, you're jumping. So that's the problem. Then that does a purple shot because the bottom of your car is on the ball. So it just needs to be that jump, air roll, jump, air roll, jump, air roll. That's the sequence of button presses you need to do. If you do jump, air, roll, jump, which is kind of an easier button, like an easier sequence to do, so your fingers kind of mess it up. Jump, arrow, jump, arrow, jump, arrow. Yeah, then you're just going to do a purple shot. So anyway, that's the problem there. Good luck. I hope that helps. All right, next one comes from Kevin, one of the many Kevins, and they ask, Mogz, are you an influential person for people? Am I an influential person in real life? I'm assuming you mean. I mean, I no, I wouldn't say so. Like, I'm a pretty quiet person. I'm not the kind of person that's in your face a lot. I don't like to bother people. I don't like to tell people how to live or, you know, give people advice that they haven't asked for and stuff. So I don't go out of my way to influence people. I'm a pretty private kind of, you know, family-oriented guy. So I wouldn't say I'm influential, really. I think when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, early 20s, yeah, I think I was pretty influential. Like with girlfriends and close friends, I think I wanted to influence them. I wanted to teach them, you know, if there's something I could do to help them. You know, so I think I was more when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I'm not that interested in influencing people, actually. But yeah, I think if, you know, now I'm a father, so I think I'm definitely influential for my kids. I want to be, anyway, I want to be like a good role model. But I would say, no, the answer to that is probably not really. I'm more of a quiet person that yeah, you probably wouldn't really notice until you get to know me and, you know, that. So yeah, that's an interesting question. I've never thought about that. Am I an influential person? That question has never entered my brain, so that's why I chose it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a weird one to answer. So anyway, thanks for the question, Kevin. Next one comes from Zirak, yeah. Mogz, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you in your entire YouTube career? I mean, by far the craziest thing is just when Sideswipe blew up. I've talked about this multiple times, but, you know, before I started Sideswipe, my channel was getting, on average, like, you know, 3,000 views per video, something like that. And I would even sometimes have videos that were only getting 500, 600. Like, for example, I did a video on the 27th of October 2021, which was about other YouTube channels, other Rocket League YouTube channels, and it currently has 671 views, right? And then literally 3 weeks later, I did my first Sideswipe video, which has 17,000. Okay, and I thought that was good. I was like, wow, okay, cool, that's awesome. I mean, 17,000, maybe I should do some more Sideswipe videos. The very next video I did was a Rocket League video. It got 3,000. Okay, and then the next video was another Sideswipe video, which currently has 615,000 views. Okay, and so that was unbelievable. And then the next one was Rocket League, 3,000. Next one's Rocket League again, 9,000. I was like, well, that's pretty good. Next one, Sideswipe, 74,000. Sideswipe, 56,000. Sideswipe, 1.4 million. You know, and then the next one, 934,000. So that was the craziest moment I've ever experienced in any career that I've had. You know, it just blew up. And that was just crazy, but it was really stressful. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of, you know, self-expectation, all this. So it was kind of unpleasant in some ways. And I feel like I got an insight into what it would be like if you became famous, or you became like really, really successful. And yeah, if there was some celebrity involved, and there was a lot of money, you know, if you like won the lottery or something, I feel like it's quite easy to get corrupted by that. So I sort of got a glimpse into that, and I was like, ooh, I don't really like that, actually. So that was the craziest thing, and there were positives and negatives to it. I would say there was a lot of pretty big negatives though. So It was interesting though. It's a good experience. All right, next one comes from Delvox, and they ask, Mogz, what's your favorite mechanic in Sideswipe? Yeah, my favorite mechanic by far is the white gold shard. I absolutely love that. The experience of learning it, of being taught it by Rublage, and then mastering it with Jelly and Rublage as well, was such a cool, it was so cool. It was just like, it was the best experience I've had in Sideswipe in terms of like making a video on like I had to learn something to make the video, and there was so much like kind of analysis involved and so much practice. Like I spent like 3 or 4 days, like hours every day practicing it and talking about it and trying to figure it out. And it was so cool. And then made the video, and it was really helpful to so many people. And then, you know, I started seeing the mechanic in high level lobbies and stuff. And it's just awesome. And nowadays it's like relatively common in GC gameplay. So I really loved that. And so that's by far my favorite. And every time I see someone doing it in any of the matches I'm commentating, it's just so cool. So I really love that. I wish I invented it myself, but have to give full credit to Rublage for that. He's an OG player, and yeah, he's done a lot for the game. So that was just one of his contributions. All right, next one comes from Zirak again, and they ask, what do your parents think about you doing YouTube, and do you still live with them? No. So as I said earlier, I have kids, and so I live with my wife and kids. In Japan. My parents live in Australia, so I moved out of home when I was 21, maybe something like that. I moved out as soon as I could, really. But I went back to my mum's at one point. My parents are divorced, so I went back to my mum's at one point when I was in my 20s, and but yeah, no, since then I've lived with my wife and stuff. What do they think about it? I mean, my mum's really proud of me, and she just thinks it's wonderful. My dad I'm not really close to, so he thinks it's cool as well. He's a really creative guy, musician and stuff, so he thinks it's great. But yeah, my family's definitely proud of me. And they just think it's a kind of risky life that I'm living, because it's quite unstable and it's all on my shoulders. There's no company that's like supporting me or anything. So, yeah, but no, I think they're proud of me for sure. But they're very liberal people. They're not conservative at all. So yeah, they've always just supported whatever I wanted to do, whatever made me happy. They never really pushed me in any direction. It was just like whatever you want to do that fulfills you and makes you happy, and you can live sustainably, then we're going to support that. So yeah, I got really supportive parents. All right, next one comes from Sharingan 420 and they ask, Mogz, are you the only active Sideswipe YouTuber? No, I'm not the only active one. I'm definitely the biggest one, especially since SteveyB has stopped making content. There's no other really big channels, but I'd say, yeah, that Altai Bro channel's one of the biggest remaining ones. Also, there's a couple of others. I might put them on screen just to give them a shout out, because it's great to see some channels still operating. But I mean, Jelly's got a channel as well. He only does shorts, but I recommend watching that if you want. He doesn't post that much these days, but great clips on there. I mean, he's just insane, and his editing is really nice as well. So yeah, not the only one, but yeah, one of few, and definitely the biggest surviving one. All right, next one comes from SQ Neon, and they ask, would you rather live in the future or live in the past? This is such an easy question. Future, 100%. Living in the past would be horrible. Even going back like 30 years is awful. Like, what, no smartphones? Just no thanks. I ain't doing that. No internet. Like, you go back like 30, 40 years, no internet at all. That's just brutal. No, I don't want to live in the past. I wouldn't mind visiting the past. That'd be cool, just to have a look. But that's as far as it would go, and the medical care and everything would be horrible. So in the future, it'd be amazing. Everything would just be better, and, I mean, I believe that. It could be worse. We could nuke ourselves to death. No idea. But then I wouldn't be able to live in the future, would I? I'd be dead in the future. So yeah, future 100%. I can't wait to see where AI and stuff goes, and you know, medical tech. It's gonna be great. All right, next one comes from Brady, and they ask, Mogz, how do I get better game sense and car control? I mean, it is an easy one to answer. You really just have to play more. Like, game sense you're going to learn from playing against other players, so you want to get game time. Car control you can do in free play. But, yeah, I mean, there's no real trick to it. You just you know, play more. But I would say, like, recording your matches is really good. Record your matches and then watch them back and just see where, you know, all the mistakes that you're making. That's invaluable, really. You have to do it. It's something that I did a lot when I was playing Rocket League, and it helped me massively. So just record a couple of matches and then watch them back and just have a look at all your mistakes. I've got a thing on my YouTube membership program where you can get replay analysis by me. So if you want to, that's paid, so you have to pay it's like a few dollars a month. I can do a replay analysis for you and point out all of your flaws. But car control you're gonna have to learn just in free play. So just take the ball around and, you know, air dribble it and do different plays and stuff, and that'll improve your car control for sure. All right, next one comes from the Framed Samosa, and they ask, hey Mogz, what is your dream? What do you want to achieve in life? Yeah. My dream really is just to live a comfortable life and be like totally self-sufficient and provide for my family, provide for my kids, give my kids a good life, and keeping independent. That's really important to me. My freedom, my independence has always been really important. So I don't want to work for any like big company and have a boss and stuff. I just want to do my own thing, and being a YouTuber is perfect. So yeah, really my dream is at the moment to be a full-time YouTuber, to be running multiple channels. I don't want to run just one channel. I want like 2 or 3 so that they're different subjects. So if I get sick of doing one subject, I can, you know, on one particular week, I can switch to another subject. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I've got 2 monetized channels. I've got Mogz and then Mogz HD, which I talked about earlier, and then I've got another channel which is a totally different subject, which is like my personal life stuff. So I'm not going to share that with you guys at the moment, but I'm trying to get that channel monetized now as well. So then I'll have 3 channels going and I'll be able to work on all of them at the same time. So that's kind of what I want to achieve, and I'm working on right now. So yeah, I'm really motivated to make that happen. So I'm working really hard. Yeah, thanks for the question there. Next one is from the same person, Framed Samosa, and they ask, what would you do if they shut down Sideswipe? I would really just, I'd keep doing what I'm doing on my other channels, and I would just stop doing Sideswipe content and start doing some other game. Probably another, I think the Mogz channel is going to stay like a mobile game channel. So I'll just find another mobile game, hopefully one that you guys are all interested in, as you know, as many of you as possible is interested in, and just start doing content on that. Yeah, that's the only thing I'd change really. All right, next one comes from Dead, and they ask, have you ever met a fan in real life? No, I mean, I don't do face reveal on my channel, so nobody knows who I am. And I also live in Japan, so Japanese people don't watch my videos. So no, I've never met a fan in real life. No one's ever recognized my voice and been like, hey, are you Mogz? So yeah, I can't imagine that happening. Unless I did a face reveal, then people might recognize me. But I'm not big enough, you know, I'm so small. So no, I've never met a fan in real life. Next one, I think the second last question comes from YBomb123, and they ask, Mogz, does the YouTube life sometimes get on your nerves and mental life? Yeah, sometimes. I would say it's a lot of pressure and responsibility to constantly be creative and constantly be coming up with new ideas and doing things in new ways and staying ahead of the curve, sort of thing. You know, like finding that perfect balance between what will be a successful video and what is like a creatively satisfying video to make is really it's a delicate kind of balance. So I've always strived to remain true to myself and make videos that I think are good quality and, you know, and all that, without spending way too much time editing and, you know, writing and everything. But are also successful and get views, because if they don't get views, then it's not really worth making. You know, I've made videos before that took literally 30-40 hours of editing and 2 weeks to make, and they got under 1,000 views, you know, and it was just a total waste of time. I didn't regret it, because it was like a really good experience and it was satisfying in a lot of ways, and I'm really glad I made it, but didn't make me any money. It was just basically a waste of time otherwise. But yeah, it does get on my nerves sometimes, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, it's just exactly what I want to be doing with basically all of my free time, as long as I can handle it. You know, as soon as I get tired, I go and play some games and hang out and, you know, whatever. But I honestly, like, any time away I spend from making videos, I'm just like, I can't wait to get back. You know, it really is. It's like a hobby that's just become a job. So yeah, as much as it gets to me, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So it's just right up my alley. Like, it's just exactly what I feel comfortable doing and I'm happy doing and satisfied doing. It's just crazy. I can't believe that I found this job. Like, it really is like the dream job for me. I can't imagine a better job that kind of ticks all the boxes. You know, it's something I can do on my own on my computer. That's a massive box ticked. It's something I can do independently. I don't have a boss, you know, huge box ticked. It's something I can use writing, because I've always been into English writing, and creativity, and it's computer game related, and it's got music in it. You know, I'm passionate about all of those things: writing, computer games, music. 3 of my biggest passions in life, and being on my own and using my computer. 4. I mean, it's just, it ticks every single box. So yeah, nah, it doesn't really get to me. All right, and the last one is another one from Frame Samosa, and they ask opinion on SteveyB. Yeah, I mean, I love Stevie. I don't know him personally. I've never really talked to him at all, other than like YouTube comments. I'm not sure why. I probably should have. We should be mates, really. He seems like a lovely dude. Really just wholesome, totally wholesome. Has he ever sworn? I doubt he ever has sworn in his whole life. So he just seems like such a nice dude. And yeah, I don't know what he's doing these days, if he ever plans to come back or change to some other content, but I hope he does. Oh my god, guys, Stevie just uploaded like 5 days ago. I had no idea he was making Sideswipe videos again, because his last video was this rocket racing one, which was like a month ago or 2 months ago or something. It was in December, on December 9th. So I don't know if he just went for a really long holiday or what, but definitely go check out his latest video and comment below and welcome him back. And yeah, I really hope he's here to stay. Very different style of content to mine. Not kind of high effort, you know, it's quite low effort content, but I think the reason people watch him or watched him was for his personality and his, you know, his gameplay. He was really good at the game back in the early days. So yeah, very different style of channel from mine, but really successful, and his fans seem to really love him. So I understand why. He just seems like a really cool dude. So yeah, great note to end on. Thank you so much for all your questions. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Not sure what I'm going to do with this series in the future. I don't know if you guys are still interested in watching Sideswipe content, or you want to see something else. I don't really know. Let me know down in the comments. I'm trying to think of different like creative ways of doing the background gameplay. I might do clips. I think this one will be 2v2s, like GC 2v2s. And the next one I might just do like random clips. So I might get you guys to submit a whole bunch of clips, and then I'll put them in with your username, like with your banner and stuff. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Let me know down in the comments what you think of that idea, if you think that's a good idea. But it'll be like 30 minutes of just like you know, 20-second clips, 20-second clip after 20-second clip. So it's going to be like a whole, I don't know what the math is on that, but it's going to be like 100 clips or something. It's going to be a lot of clips. So it's going to be a bit of a nightmare for me. But anyway, if you like that idea, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, as always, guys, if you want to submit your own questions for future episodes, join the Mogz Discord server and put your questions in the Ask Mogz channel. I'll go through it, choose my favorites, and yeah, answer them in the next episode. But yeah, as always, guys, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not, and I'll see you in the next one. See you, boys.